Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to another real-time edit. Today I got this lovely, curious-looking Cerulean Warbler on such a beautiful perch. Love thorny perches, and this one's got some real good graphical shapes. Real quick, just a reminder, head on over to rayhennessy.com and then just click on the workshop section to find out more about all the different workshops I offer, including all the online workshops. Some are pre-made that you can just sign up and watch online, and then others you can get in touch with me and work directly with me. Anyway, let's jump right back into this video. All right, so, oops, hitting the wrong button here. There we go. Let me turn that on. And let's see. A little bit lighter overall. I was a little bit under on the exposure to begin with. Shadows definitely need to come up so I can see more on that bird. And then we'll drop the blacks back down. Overall white balance went way too warm on the camera. So I'll cool that off and get back closer to the actual greens that were there, which is helpful. And then let's see, maybe just a little bit lighter. I'll drop the highlights, lift those shadows up just a little bit more, touch of magenta in there, and then one more drop on the blacks. I think that's a good spot to start. I don't want to crop this at all. I'm really happy with where the composition is. I don't like these little bits that are just peeking in off the bottom corners there. So I'll probably go ahead and just clone those out in Photoshop. And so we'll start with that. Just clone these areas out nice and easy. Super simple fix. I don't need this one little weird colored thing on there. So we'll get rid of that with the spot healing brush. And then back to cloning to get rid of that. Well, I feel like I made a little bit of a pattern there. There we go. All right, I think that's all I need to worry about for cloning. So that looks good. Background and color, everything there looks really good. It's all about the bird now at this point. So obviously light was coming from overhead. So I do want the bottom to be darker, but that bottom eye specifically and just that part of the head was getting really dark down in there. So I'm just going to try and do a little bit of lightening on there, and I'll deal with this color in a little bit. Now, I don't want to go too much and make it look absurd, right? Because then it just takes away some of that lighting. And then I'll do a dodge layer. And I mean, obviously, I'm not expecting a big catch light on this, but there is some reflected light coming off of the edges there that can give us a little bit of life in the eye, and then maybe just a little bit on the front. Kind of punch up that catch light. Actually, I want the blacks in that eye to get a little bit darker. So that's all well and good. And then let's just enhance the blue just a little tiny bit on this bird. I think it's just kind of getting a little washed out and lost due to all the green light that's bouncing around in this image. So just the areas of blue on this lovely Cerulean Warbler, I'm just going to hit up a little bit more just to make them kind of pop a little bit more. So there we go. I think that's good. Next up, we got to get rid of this hideous green and yellow that's bouncing in off the bottom here. So I'm just going to use a hue and saturation adjustment layer and desaturate both the yellows and greens. I'm guessing it probably chose, but mainly the yellow channel. And then just paint some of that in down here. Probably going to go too far to begin with. And then I'll just back off of it and kind of give it a nice fade when I'm done putting it in where I need to clean this color up. But yeah, this is something that bugs me all the time with my warbler photography, especially the later in the season you get, is, and it makes sense, right? You're under the forest canopy. There's just, it's lush out there. There's tons of green and yellow light bouncing around, even on an overcast day like this, you know? So you can see there's still a little bit of weird tinting going on right in there. So do a little bit of magenta, a little bit of blue. See if we can kind of clean that up. There we go. Anyway, yeah, those colors just get so messed up from all that light bouncing around in there. And so I just tried to kind of clean that up a little bit. Man, I don't know if I'm going to back off of it. I'll back off of it a little bit along the bottom edge here of the bird just to let a little bit of that green wash come into the bottom there. But overall, just kind of clean that up. And then maybe I'll just do a little bit of darkening on the top left side here. Just to kind of keep the eye, you know, the viewer's eye more on that bird there, and then maybe just a little bit at the bottom there, something like that. But overall, I think that looks pretty good. So here's my before and after. Yeah, not a major change there, but just basically like a lot of cleanup, you know, was needed on that color-wise. So let me get that saved. I'll go back into Lightroom and show you the complete before and after. I don't need to do the plug at the end here because I already did it at the beginning. So I'm going to mix it up on you guys every once in a while. I'll plug my website in the beginning sometimes, plug it at the end sometimes. But anyway, all right, back to Lightroom. Let's compare it to the complete original. There you go. So definitely a much better exposure now in the final one. And you can see we went from that's the original to that. There's the final image right there. I'm really happy with that one, compositionally, and just a fun, curious post. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And don't forget, visit rayhennessy.com if you want to find out any more about these.